Good evening, good morning, music friends, wherever you may be. I think it's late Friday night, I guess more technically early Saturday morning. I crashed early because I was exhausted from work and I'm up. So I thought, you know what? Hey, now's a great time to do a little vinyl update. I hit this and that flea market, Whitby Flea Market, last Sunday, and did a little vinyl hauling, shopping around. It's a nice little hot spot for anyone who may collect records and vinyl. It's all open on Sundays from about 10 to 4, and there's a good, on any given day, there's anywhere from 5 to 10 vendors selling generally used vinyl. There's sometimes some a little bit of new, all kinds of genres and formats, whatever you like, everything from rock and metal to jazz, and lots of classic rock and 60s rock. It's a really nice spot to go if you're, sometimes you're bored, nice sunny day. They've vendors set up outside, and they've also got an inside portion of the flea market. It's a nice little place to visit. So anyways, I picked up some vinyl. I was having a great time flying solo. Just thought I'd go through them really quickly. Let's see what we got here. The first one I picked up was Bill Bruford, One of a Kind. Bill Bruford's a drummer, and he was a drummer for the prog rock band Yes. He played on their first 5 albums, so he was a pretty prolific drummer. He got a lot of notoriety from that, Yes being a pretty big band. I also just recently saw Yes, so it's one of the reasons why when I saw this vinyl I wanted to pick it up. He was also in King Crimson and a whole bunch of other bands. He's a really great jazz fusion kind of drummer. This was a solo album from '79. I really like this one. Maybe not from top to bottom. There's a couple songs in here that I really, really like. And I think I got it actually thrown in free because I bought a couple other more expensive vinyls. I asked the guy if he'd throw it in for free, and he said he would. Let me just show you the cover. Kind of like the cover. It kind of shows him grasping some sort of glowing orb within a box or a chest. Kind of mysterious. Kind of really neat. Kind of makes you think, question what he's grabbing. And then on the back, he's kind of, I don't know, achieved wisdom or seen the light. He's just sitting in a corner with sunglasses, and there's like moon shining on the wall. It's a really neat cover, actually. I don't know, it kind of intrigues me. Yeah, I haven't heard this in a long time. I only have ever had it on digital format. I know I liked it, so I haven't listened to it yet on vinyl format, but it should be pretty cool. I love collecting jazz fusion, and that's one of my favorites. So I'm really happy to get that for basically free. Next up, we got, I love this band. They're a 70s, iconic, classic 70s rock band, Blue Oyster Cult. I'm slowly kind of collecting their whole discography on vinyl. It's relatively cheap. This was a really big album. I think probably their largest selling album, or at least the single off here was their largest, biggest hit song. This is the album Agents of Fortune from 1976, with the big chart topper, Don't Fear the Reaper. Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune. Cover's a little weak, to be honest. Their earlier albums are much trippier and cooler, I think. This is when they're slowly starting to go a little more commercial, that being a relative word. Don't Fear the Reaper is a great song. There's a whole bunch of songs in here I really like, though. This Ain't the Summer of Love, ETI, Extraterrestrial, The Revenge of Gemini, or Vera Gemini. Yeah, a whole bunch of great songs. Patti Smith, the punk poetess musician from the 70s, also appears on this album. I forget which song she sings on. Oh, The Revenge of Vera Gemini. That's a really cool song. She ended up marrying, I believe, one of the band members. I forget which one at this moment. But yeah, this was Blue Oyster Cult's big album, Agents of Fortune. I don't think they ever quite captured the magic again after that album, although they got a lot of great songs that came on and albums after that. But yeah, I was happy to grab that one. That was relatively cheap. I think, I don't know, a couple bucks, 4 or 5. Next up, we got a great 60s, and I guess they went into the 70s too, a great band called Moody Blues from the UK. This is the band I wish I've heard more from. I really like everything I've heard from them. I just haven't had a lot of time to explore them. Their discography is pretty big. They've I think they started sometime in the mid to 60s, and they went all the way through a good portion of the 70s. So I think this. Let me see. What did I write anything down about this one? Yeah, this is from 1969. I'm actually not all that familiar with it. I know the album. I know it's a good one. I just haven't had a chance to listen to it fully. It's a concept album about dreams. This is Threshold, On a Threshold of a Dream, Moody Blues. That should be pretty cool to listen to. Oh, sweet gat. This was a bit of a nostalgia purchase back in the 80s when I was just a wee little lad. I like this band called Huey Lewis and the News. They had a big couple of hits off this album that I'm about to show you called I Want a New Drug, Heart and Soul, and The Heart of Rock and Roll. If you know 80s rock, you probably know a couple of those songs, or at least you've heard them, even if you didn't know who it was. This album went 7 times platinum. Huey Lewis and the News was sports album. Yeah, this total nostalgia purchase, but I think I got it for a couple of bucks, so it was very cool. I really like, actually, I Want a New Drug. It's a great song. Actually, I was just reading the Thin Lizzy bio, and apparently they toured with Huey Lewis before Huey Lewis got big at all. And apparently, I guess he's a pretty good musician. I always thought of him as just that commercial rocker guy from the 80s, but it would probably be an interesting guy to check out a little more. He plays a harmonica as well, and apparently he's a really good harp player. Moving on, we've got, oh, I love this band, man. They've really grown on me over the years. I've got their first 2 albums on vinyl, and this is their third, the Alan Parsons Project with the Pyramid album. This is from 1978. Really dig the cover. He's kind of like, I don't know, is he fading away? Is he digitizing? What's going on there? It looks really cool, though. He's phasing in and out or something. Pyramid on the back. This was their third album. Probably the last album where I really think they're an amazing band. After that, they got a little more watered down. They weren't quite the same kind of rock band that they were. Apparently, it's a concept album about Egypt and the pyramids of Giza. So that's pretty cool. Pyramids were really big in the 70s. So that was, oh, I forgot it's a gatefold. Let me show you the gatefold. It's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, so all about the pyramids, Alan Parsons Project. I think I've actually got this on CD. I really like it. Can't remember any of the songs off it at the moment, though, but that should be good. Got their first 3 albums. I'm pretty happy with what I got from Alan Parsons Project. I'll probably collect them all because you can get them pretty cheap. But I've got their first 3, which are the 3 I've been aiming for, so pretty happy with that. What else do we got? Oh, this is... Oh, we got... Oh, okay. Get this. This is a French artist, a violinist that plays... he's been played in a lot of jazz fusion projects from the 70s and even into the 80s. Jean-Luc Ponty. This is his album from 1976, 4th album called Imaginary Voyage. I don't know a lot about this album, actually. I've never heard it in full, but I know I really like his music. He's actually the artist that's been playing through this whole video. Electric violinist. Might on the surface sound a little, I don't know, gay, fruity, but he's a really incredible player, and he's played with a lot of kind of jazz rock musicians, and he fucking can lay it down hard and really trippy. So if you like what you're hearing in the background, that's Jean-Luc Ponty been playing the last 10 minutes. Amazing artist. I've slowly been trying to collect his stuff on vinyl. That's my second album. I've got his Cosmic Messenger album, which was 2 albums after this one that I just showed. But yeah, Jean-Luc Ponty, really cool musician. Check him out if you've never heard of him. Oh, what else we got? Oh, this was my big purchase, I think, at the flea market. There was a guy selling vinyls from the back of his van, and he also had a table outside, and he had a lot of metal and a lot of 80s metal. Prices were a little high, but he had a really nice selection compared to a lot of the vendors at the Whitby Flea market. I really like this album. I've never actually heard it in full. I love the title track and a few other songs on here. It's Ozzy Osbourne's 1981 solo album, Diary of a Madman. Shows a crazed Ozzy on here. This has Randy Rhoads playing on guitar. Back in the day, a hot, fiery young guitarist. Still young and I'm just showing so much potential and amazing ability. Unfortunately, this would be the last album he played on with Ozzy. He played on his debut in this one. Yeah, Randy Rhoads would die, I think, maybe just a few months after the release of this album while on tour. I was reading up about it. I knew he had died in a plane crash, but I didn't know the details. And according to Wikipedia, anyways, it was a really unfortunate, stupid accident how he died. He was in a plane going on tour, and the stupid pilot, I don't know, I think he had done some cocaine. I think they said they tested positive for cocaine. He was actually buzzing over the tour buses. I think it was late at night or early morning, just trying to wake them up and being a jackass and trying to probably be cool. And he clipped one of the tour buses, and of course the wing snapped, and boom, fucking Randy Rhoads is dead. So a little bit of a tragic story with that one. But back to Diary of a Madman. Yeah, the title track's amazing. Over the Mountain, the opener song's great. I actually first heard it off a death metal band called Epidemic. I hadn't actually heard the Ozzy version. I actually heard a death metal cover, if you can believe that, first of that song, and that kind of always made me curious about this album. But yeah, I've never actually heard it in full. Looking forward to checking it out. Little Ozzy. I've been getting more and more into Ozzy's solo stuff over the years. Always at heart a Black Sabbath fan, but I've been warming up to a lot of Ozzy solo shit. Probably collect more of his albums as I get a chance. So yeah, that's about it. Check that flea market out if you like vinyl collecting. Or even if you just like looking at knickknacks. They got all kinds of memorabilia in there from all kinds of stuff. If you got a fetish for something, you'll probably find it there. Anyways, my friends, got a few pops in me here. I'm enjoying them. See everyone on the other side, and keep rocking on.